time for our every Tuesday Blue Jacket report on the ride home and 103.9 The Maverick. And we join up with FanDuel Sports Network's pre-in and post-game reporter, my old buddy Dave Maetzold. And daggone it, Mets, a good finish last night, but the Jackets dropped their fourth in a row.
Yeah, I'm going to be an optimist here. I'm going to be a glass half full guy. I think that they found their game in that third period last night, completely dominated the Devils in that period. They were only able to score one goal. I get all of that. I'm not an apologist for what's going on right now, but I do think they found something which hopefully will help them Thursday night against Florida, because prior to that, the Ranger game and the Vegas game, it just wasn't the team that we were used to seeing get themselves into playoff position. And I think at least in the later stages last night, we saw a glimpse of that returning. How about that?
And let's be honest. I mean, the four teams that have beat them are all pretty dang good. And New Jersey's done it twice, and it's one of the top teams in the division.
Yeah, that's right. And teams, we talked about this last week, teams now have all ratcheted up their games. And the Blue Jackets, because they're young, because they have not been in a playoff push for a number of years, have got to get used to the fact that teams are going to be playing them harder. It's going to be a stiffer game. They're not going to have the amount of space that they've had up until now to do the things they want to do. They're not going to be just being able to go into the corner and pull the puck out of there without a real battle. And that's what this team has to adjust its game for right now is a physical, demanding, intense game for 60 minutes.
And of course, they really need to beat Florida, Pittsburgh, and you got the Islanders, Vancouver, Ottawa. I mean, they're still on the outside looking in at that second wild card spot.
They're on the outside looking in, and you mentioned Ottawa, which is the team that's right now is in the number one wild card position in the East. The Jackets haven't played them all year. They play them 3 times between now and the end of the year.
That's crazy.
If they can win all 3 of those games and get those 6 points, then they're right in the thick of it. But you're right. They got to get by the defending Stanley Cup champions first on Thursday, and then they got to beat Pittsburgh at Pittsburgh, which has never been an easy win for this team. There's nothing easy about the rest of the year. Let's just put it that way, Wood.
Yeah, they're going to earn it if they get in. Talking to FanDuel Sports Network's Dave Maetzold. As always, every week, Mets, tell us something we don't know that only you know behind the scenes.
Well, there aren't many secrets at this point. I'll tell you what I believe to be true, and that is they've got to get Sean Monahan and Eric Goodbranson into the lineup as soon as possible. Both of those guys are working their way back from injury right now. They've got to get those 2 veteran players, one a centerman, one a defenseman, back into the lineup as soon as possible. You know why? Because they're used to this type of hockey game. They're used to the intensity. They can help some of these guys who've not been through it before, maybe not be so nervous, not grip the stick quite so tight. They can help them through what is going to be a critical stretch of games. They got to get these guys back in.
Matt, it's great talking to you every week. Thank you so much for making time for us, and we'll look forward to snapping that streak Thursday night against Bob's and Florida.
Let's hope that by next Tuesday we're having a different conversation and they're right back in the race.